Okay, guys, massive welcome and good morning. It is finally Friday. It is the 18th of November. Guys, looking back at the past couple of days, right? Yesterday, from a trading perspective, Thursday and Wednesday was not ideal, but I went and had a look at our trading week, just going back and looking at the videos, looking at the trades we've taken, just reflecting on the progress we've made this week. And not only have we been live well over 18 times this week, we've actually had a pretty amazing week. So literally as we speak, I'm literally editing a video. It's busy rendering in the background. Just a shout out to my computer because it's an absolute machine, rendering, streaming, doing everything at the same time. So shout out machine. We'll give this thing a name in the coming weeks, but I'm going to show you guys a video and a recap of the week that has happened over the past week. It's really been some amazing stuff. Remember, as we get to Friday, we start to wrap up this week. We start to tone things down, as we've already had last week a monster week, well in excess of 10 to 15,000 pips. We've had a great week, the start of this week. The latter end of this week, the fundamental data kind of was lackluster, but ultimately, I'm going to show you guys a playback of our progress and what we've seen over this past week, which I think is pretty amazing. So just a massive shout out to our whole community, every single person that is joining us. I just want to give a shout out to Nadir, Rainmaker, Alvino, Reshmi, Ruwan. I can see Ruwan's in there twice. Bakang, Joshua, Dwayne, Andy, Nine is in here. Alvain Forsi, Lizzo, Mark Hooper. Let's see, we have Waylon, we have Busani, we have Troy. Into his glory, welcome Reshmi Suda. We have Darlene Shaw, that's my mother right there. Listen guys, if even your own mother is on a live broadcast wanting to trade with you, you must just know there's some secret sauce right there. Beautiful. Let's have a look. Charlie, Tabo Taylor, Andrew, Trisha. I can see Josh is in the house, I think you mentioned. I can see Joseph, I can see Marunga, I can see Nakutha, I can see Nashil. Welcome guys, welcome. Okay, so as we wrap up this week, we're going to look at what has happened this week, but we're really going to focus on prepping for the next week, right? Again, there's going to be some massive changes. We are finalizing some of the improvements, some of the tweaks, some of the change on our web trader. So we are looking at rolling that out next week in its full and complete form. And I know you guys have been waiting for this. We've been waiting for a new platform. The time has come, changes here, and we're about to release that to you and the rest of the world. In addition to that, we will be rolling out the different packages. So again, for those of you who have your $100 accounts, you qualify to get into the premium. We'll have premium plus for those who have $1,000 or more. And then we're going to have private wealth, which is over $5,000 in your live accounts. And that is where you get a dedicated team to help and assist you with your accounts, with growing your accounts, priority withdrawals, so many features, picks of the day, trades of the day, our ideal trading opportunities, and so many more features that are going to be coming. Now, there's going to be features and value adds and benefits for each of the tiers. So even if you're sitting on premium, even if you just have your $100, you're going to see some amazing benefits, stuff that just is not offered anywhere else in the world right now. And I can guarantee you that no other brokerage in the world can be able to offer you, over and above the live broadcast, over and above the academy that's coming as well, that you'll have access to next week. It's just some really mind-blowing stuff. And if you aren't already excited, time to get excited, because between you and the partnership with Globex, we're about to take trading to a whole new level. All right, beautiful stuff. How much did mom pay? Mom's family, mom gets everything for free. So mom didn't have to pay anything. Actually, mom is going to be involving herself quite substantially in the trading in the next couple of weeks. So you're going to see mom in there in the new groups. She's going to be doing analysis. She's going to be posting what she's thinking about the markets. Really proud of her for understanding the markets in just an amazing way. Remember, my mother's been around me for many years in the markets and in conferences and training, sitting, listening. And she recently came out to me and said, Dane, I really understand this stuff. I want to trade full time. So my mom's going to be moving into full-time trading. And you guys will see her in the groups, in the markets, having some fun, respecting and representing the family. Okay, beautiful stuff. So let's start off this morning. We're going to jump straight into the news and have a look at what's busy happening in the world, what's happening in the markets, and what that means for you and what that means for the trades and opportunities that we are going to be looking at, right? So we're going to essentially move away from our analysis and we're going to jump straight into the news. We're going to follow up with some of the fundamentals. Fairly quiet day for today. Most of the big items have already passed. Next week is smooth sailing, but I'm going to show you guys that in a second. So let's jump straight in. Let's have a look at the news, what is happening in the world, what's happening in the markets, and how we can still take advantage of things in the current day and or age. So we're going to quickly have a look at international news. We're going to have a look at what Yahoo is busy saying. We're not going to look at the local front this morning, but in essence, there's quite an interesting article from Bill Ackman. So those of you guys who know him, fairly well known and famous short position trader. And he has done a lot of big shorts in his career, right? Exposed a lot of companies and given some really valuable market insights into the future of trading, right? So just a very interesting article from him that's busy loading here in the background. But the other big item, I sent out a link yesterday for that documentary on FTX's downfall. If anybody watched it, please let me know in the comments. Drop in an emoji. We can do that cough in hand or cough in armpit emoji or whatever it's called. If you guys watched the documentary I sent you guys yesterday in our premium sessions, please do let me know. Just pop in a smiley face, whatever it is that you want, just so I know that you guys have watched it. Really, really cool stuff. But again, the market's going to be dominated by FTX-based news. Now, for crypto as a whole, this is not a good thing. This is being called one of the biggest financial frauds in the modern day era from a blockchain and crypto technology perspective. So for those of you who are blockchain, for those of you who are crypto enthusiasts, this is definitely going to set back crypto at least a couple years, right? We were in a position we could start to see Bitcoin, we could start to see Ethereum, we could start to see all these other major top market cap coins start to dominate. The timing of this is just so unfortunate because we needed something else to rival the dollar, the euro, and the yen, as well as the pound. So again, just obviously unfortunate stuff there. Let's have a look at the article in terms of what Bill Ackman has said here. But he says that the Fed will fail to hit that 2% inflation target, right, while keeping stocks under pressure. So Ackman is basically saying the Federal Reserve's idea or objective of getting inflation, and this is speaking about the US, getting the US Fed inflation under 2% is highly unlikely. You can go on to read the article. We'll share it in the groups with you guys. And this should mean that we should start to see a little bit of a reserved approach in this December interest rate announcement. So remember, the previous interest rate announcements, we've dominated markets. We've listened to the interest rate announcement live, interpreted, analyzed, and then taken positions on the market. We've killed every single interest rate so far. For the next one, I have some very good insights and predictions over what's going to happen. So if you want to be a part and parcel of that, that is going to be a premium plus feature. So again, you want to make sure you get over that $1,000 threshold to get all of the premium plus features. But again, if you are a premium member over $100, you will get the highlights and the recap of those shows. So what we're going to do moving forward is we're basically going to have all the premium plus content. That'll be the fundamental data events. It'll be all the special shows that we end up doing outside of just the normal dollars for lunch and pounds for breakfast. And you will get access, if you're a premium member, you'll get access a week later to some of those shows to go and study, to recap. But if you're a premium plus member, obviously you get live access to that. And if you're a private wealth member, which is over $5,000, that's going to be private one-on-one shows, private one-on-one sessions. We will do them once a day in the evening, and that'll be, all of my research, all of my trade opportunities, all of my pending orders based on your account and how you want to grow. I will have a similar account size to you. And then on my calendar, we had some pound data coming this morning. Again, looking at how the pound has performed previously on economic data, I didn't see it necessary to hold a premium plus show for this. And I'm grateful for that because, again, the pound came in better than expected, outperformed expectation. And as we go into the charts and as we see in a second, you're going to notice that it's pretty much unchanged, right? The pound has barely moved at all in relation to the rest of the market. So let's jump in now and let's have a look at some of the analysis of some of the instruments that we can potentially look at and where we can potentially take some advantage in the market. So we're going to start off on the FX side. And as always, you guys know the drill. We're going to start off with that dollar index and having a look at what has happened. Remember to stick around towards the end. I am going to play a recap and a replay of this week. And there's some really cool moments that we've celebrated. I think, because we have so many shows, it's so easy to, have, a mediocre trading day and say, well, the week was mediocre. Going back through these shows and putting together this little highlights reel of what has happened this week, really made me proud of what we've done here at Global X360 Live TV. And every single one of you in the chats, in the community, sharing your screenshots, motivating, keeping things positive, and just participating, guys. I really, really do appreciate that. We do appreciate the whole team, the whole company, every single one of you. Just give yourselves a big up. You guys have been absolutely amazing throughout. Okay, let's jump into it. Let's have a look at where we sit from an analysis perspective, right? So we're looking at the dollar index this morning. As we said yesterday in our live session, we looked at that bit of a weakness on the dollar index, a little bit of a breakdown. This is currently looking at a 1 minute time frame. Dollar index considered that breakout to the downside, but just first did a little bit of a retest. That little bit of a retest we saw in the New York Stock Exchange, and then we saw markets fall quite substantially. Now, linking up to that is obviously the fact that, we were looking at that US 30 buy, and I was pretty done with the day. 13 hours in the markets, you start to get a little bit loopy. So for those of you who continued that buy, I'll show you in the charts in a second, that was a monster trade, and you should have benefited substantially from that trade and from that setup. Now, moving into Euro USD. Euro USD essentially made as if we might go outside of structure, ultimately found support where we drew it at the 88.2 and has popped back into structure. Now, Euro USD is not completely safe. That was a 4 hour. This is a 1 hour. And if you have a look at where Euro USD is in its current journey, you can see we're still, depending which way you want to see it, we either are just above support, but I feel Euro USD is still trying to break above this diagonal. Now, markets, again, being Friday, will be slow. If you're going to see any volume in this market, we are going to see that volume come in around about the US open. So around about 3:30, the US markets open. And then again, 4:30 is the New York Stock Exchange open. So I see markets being fairly flat, fairly dead today until we start to see some of those volumes come in for that US open. Again, one of the parts of the reasons why I don't trade as much on a Friday, and I'm very selective about my Friday trading. Obviously, last week, Friday, we've traded. The previous Friday was NFP. We traded that too. But just looking at today, we could see things be a little bit flat across the board. Now, looking at USD ZAR, again, for those of you guys who followed my trade setup here, we looked at the possibility of USD ZAR, breaking out of this little bit of a medium bear term situation. Right, there's USD ZAR currently looking at a 15-minute time frame, and then potentially making a bit of a pop to the top side. USD ZAR went through resistances 1 and 2, and then started pushing quite substantially towards the top side. And we are now in a little bit of a pullback, as you can currently see, right? So depending on what we see dollar strength wise, right, this will determine whether USD ZAR continues this bull move or continues this bear move. Now, I am of the opinion that USD ZAR has broken out of this bear move, albeit that the bear move didn't break out. I would have liked to have seen us get to the 61.8 and then start to move to the top side, but I'm pretty happy with this. Looking at this, we might want to consider there might be a little bit of a different price action situation here. I just want to go back to a 1 hour. Let's stay on a 4 hour time zone, because I just want to consider the opportunity and the possibility of a support / resistance that we're just not seeing here. That is a little bit, that's a little bit tight there. I wouldn't say that is valid. Let's have a look if that is valid. So this is a little bit of a stretch, right? This is by no means a very clean support level, but we do need to consider it. The fact that we don't meet that 61.8 requirement, and we do have a decent amount of, support / resistance just below where we're currently sitting from a price action perspective. So USD ZAR can be a really good candidate next week to start looking at those long positions if we see that dollar strength start to return towards that top side. So that's going to be something we definitely want to continue to keep our eyes on. But again, as I said, with fundamental data, looking at the pound, we didn't get a whole bunch of data in here for the pound, right? Pound did extremely well. We're currently looking at GBP, JPY, and the pound has not made and taken advantage of that GBP, JPY position, right? We're not seeing the pound dominate the yen, move towards the top side, fairly flat. We got the data at 9 o'clock, almost zero change, right? We've basically moved from 1 pound buys you 166 yen and 29 pips to 166 yen and 60 pips, right? So we've seen a 30 pip move over the course of that setup, and there really isn't much to really say about the pound. Same thing can be said for Euro GBP. Euro GBP, pound came in strong. We should see Euro GBP buy, but we're not seeing any of that momentum. Now, again, yesterday we started a bit of a breakdown, and I said in the show, I think it was pounds for breakfast, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not looking at shorting this, again, because we were still due on that euro data. We're still due on that pound data. Again, we had the euro data at 12, we had pound data at 2:30 in the afternoon, and I was waiting to see what materialized here. We started to see a little bit of a rally, right, on the euro, or that weakness in the pound. and a little bit of a pullback again. So this is going to be very interesting to see how the pound deals with this at the moment. Currently, Euro GBP is still sitting right under and on support. So depending how you want to look at it, we could consider that whole area as support. Depending what the pound does here, if we see the euro pound start to fall, this might be a long-term short opportunity. Again, looking at where the euro pound sits on the greater scheme of things, we can still expect euro pound to start to make those new lows, or at least match support, and that is sitting at least 60 to 70 pips towards the downside. So definitely opportunity on euro pound that still may materialize today, so you might want to watch that. Set up some alerts, some pending orders towards the downside to catch any potential moves we could end up seeing in that area. Now, moving into indices and looking at analysis for specifically indices, we're looking at the US 30. And I just want to recap for you guys really quickly what happened yesterday. Right, we were sitting here yesterday and I was talking about the fact that markets are ranging a little bit too choppy for me, but we did see that breakout start to form for those buy moves. And we can see that US 30 still ran about 1,000 pips towards the north. Made a little bit of a pullback, and then we can see later on in the evening, closer to 7 o'clock, that nice little thump towards the top side. So ultimately, even with the pullback, right, we're looking at US 30 still running around about 3,000 pips towards that north side. Now, having a look at US 30 and its greater structure and where it currently sits, we basically have attempted to get back into structure here, right? We had this little bit of a symmetrical triangle, made a push, and you can see we're creating a new market structure here. So US 30 is going to be very interesting to trade today because we've got this very, very flat resistance level. So a buy on US 30 is going to be crystal clear, right? On a 5-minute time frame, a buy through this resistance level is going to be super clear, and we obviously just need to clear that high of yesterday that was sitting at 33,605. Should we break through there, we are good to go, and that will be a monster buy. The sell is not going to be as easy here. It's going to be a little bit tricky to map out support, and I think the best tool we can use here is going to be our parallel channel. So I would say anything below that 33,427 mark is going to be a potential sell opportunity, and you're going to see the same theme appear on NASDAQ as well as German 30. So if you're looking for opportunities today, map out price action. Because we don't have too much fundamentals, price action will be king. Bear in mind, this is a Friday market. Volumes are going to be a bit lower than we've seen in previous days. And remember, next week, Friday is going to be the last Friday of the month. The Friday thereon after, we are going to be having NFP. So that's going to be massive. That Friday, we will definitely be trading. We'll definitely be live. And you definitely want to be a part of that. NFP is going to be a premium plus feature, right? So you are going to need more than $1,000 to participate in those special fundamental events. If not, you will obviously still catch dollars for lunch, the New York Stock Exchange session. So let me quickly have a look if this rendering is complete, because I would love to play this video for you guys. This PC is obviously doing some crazy things here in the background. I think I can turn her down. There we go. Things are softening down. I can actually hear myself. You should be able to hear me a bit better and a bit clearer. This thing was taking off like a jet engine. I just want to quickly have a look if this video is ready for us to view. Let's give it a quick look and let's go and find that video. It was rendering in the background. So again, this is the first time I'm seeing it with every single one of you. So let's have a look what is happening here. Okay, let's see if this will work. Okay, this should work. So what I'm going to do for this part is I am going to share the screen. I might end up muting myself, obviously, just so that you guys can hear everything nice and clear. And obviously, we're not going to have any music for this one. So let's quickly share, and I can hide myself really quickly, and then let's play it and have a look. Okay, cool. So there I am. Let's play. I hope you guys will be able to hear this. We're trying this out. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's go hide that. Let's hide that. Sit back, relax, and yeah, obviously, as always, just enjoy it. Here. If we see a continued push down, I personally wouldn't chase it now. Looking at where we are from a dollar index perspective, right? We need to push through here. If we do, great. If we rise up above this level, great, 100%. But if we don't, I think the next level to start to look for opportunities is going to be at this 88.2. You might find we might correlate with this 88.2 somewhere around about here. And this is where I would start to consider some long position. Quickly, I just want to show you guys some price action currently happening on the US30, right? We spoke about earlier in our session, the possibility of US30 coming down to that support at that 88.2. And we can see that US30 has pushed into that support area. While I was in a meeting, I just opened up a buy on that 88.2. And we can see markets have bounced off there. But I just want to make you guys aware this. If we go past the 33,702 mark, that'll be an entry to go start getting long in with US30. That'll correlate again with a breakdown on the dollar index. And that's something we would like to see. I would like to see this morning getting long on US30 and then preparing for that PPI. PPI comes out negative, right? Just to let you understand, if that PPI comes out negative and we're already in a US30 long position, then all I can tell you is that we are going to see it rain this afternoon, right? So again, PPI comes out negative, below expectation, weaker dollar, stronger indexes, and that would be an ideal world case situation, right? If we see that, that will mean we can see a continuation of rally on the top side. From a US30 perspective, we'll see rallies on commodities, rallies on currency, where we have the dollar as the quote currency. So it was fairly unimpressive. Nothing much really happening on the euro. So I'm adding a position here as we've started to break out and go above that market structure currently on US30. So if you're getting in late, I'll get in late with you as well. Even though I've got that trade down below, I'm going to start to engage a trailing stop now on that earlier trade. And I'm going to utilize maybe a 3,000 point trailing stop. And you should already be in the profits as we speak. Okay, there we go. Now we're moving in profit. There we go. Beautiful stuff. I like to see that. Okay, we can bring Trump in for this one and let him come and do his little thing. We'll just bring in all the money at once. Trump is giving us a nice little showdown there. Nice, beautiful little trade towards the top side. Always great to see. Again, 90% of the work is showing up. We're here for a different reason, but price action prevailed and we got that pop, the strength starting to pop out over there. US30, let's go. If you're in that US30 buy trade, beautiful stuff. Go ahead and drop me a screenshot if you're in profit. Let's get this week moving with a little bit of profits and a little bit of sharing of that profit, right? Nice, powerful trade. And just again, a testament to pure price action, right? This whole trade was quite simply just prices pulling back to a known fib level and, respecting that level and then taking off to the top side, right? Pure price action, beautiful stuff. There we go, getting a nice push on that buy. So, we might want to consider here, I don't know, like maybe 10 pips as a trailing. Obviously, it's very small. Okay, so she seems to be pushing quite nicely. It seems we are then, ladies and gentlemen, looking at some profits. So good stuff. We see some money falling there and we are in it. Again, this could be a swing trade. So yeah, we're obviously going to just allow this one to continue to run. But from a basic perspective, we are in the money. And even though it is a pound related trade, let's get Trump in the picture and see what he has to say about it. Share this with you guys. Okay, so there we go. PPI month on month, straight PPI. If we get a 0.3 or 0.2, right, or even a negative number, indices are going to skyrocket. PPI, core PPI, if we get a 7.1, 7.0 or less, indices will skyrocket. Look there, negative, indices are going to rally. Indices are rallying. If you haven't bought already, indices are rallying. Oh, look at that rally right there. Indices are still moving. Give yourself a trailing stop now, because that is moving like an absolute steam train. Give yourself a trailing stop. Make sure you have this one risk managed and that you at least have some sort of stop in place in case this thing continues to the top side. Very, very big spike there. Let's just count it out. 1,500 pip spike. So if you're already in that buy, like I said this morning, if you're already in that buy, then that buy should be a monster. I know a couple of you inboxed me that you are in buys already, and that price has just gone through the roof, right? Massive, massive trade there. I'm putting in a trailing at the moment, 3,000 points. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Markets reacted extremely sharply to that data. Let's give that data a quick look once again. Just putting in some alerts towards that top side, but markets really spiked on that data. Let's quickly give it a look. Let's give it a proper read. 0.2 and a 6.7 PPI month on month, year over year. Massive, massive negative across the board. So all of your dollar items, right? Gold is going to rally. You're going to see indices rally. You're going to see currencies rally where the dollar is the quote currency. So Euro USD, GBP USD, all of those items, we're going to see a rally. USD is still rising. Yeah, guys, it's absolutely a monster right now. Regardless of where you're at, we can see money is falling from the skies right now. USD is in that massive, massive buy overall. So just switching on all the things because we're having an amazing time, an amazing session, amazing place. Let's go. There we go. Mission passed. We should all be in profits. Trailing stops have kicked in, and my trade is now rallying in profits, right? So in all, with my previous trade there, currently running over 3,000 points, 3,000 pips in profit. Let's go ahead and just have a look at how much we are working with today, right? So that main trade is currently sitting at over $30,000. So that's R500,000 live right there over the course of today. And even if this trade gets stopped out, I still have that secondary, the bigger 100 lot down below. There's R500,000 live, right? We said a couple months ago, a year ago, we would get to the point where we'd be able and in a position to trade R1,000,000 in a live market condition situation. There we go. And we've got it. And it's a massive, massive win. Now, in order to reopen that 100 lots, I did suffer a few losses in the downside as markets pushed further and further down. I took one or two losses for a couple $1,000s, but ultimately a couple $1,000s to make $30,000. That sounds like a good deal to me. But regardless, we're going to see markets hemorrhage across the board as the dollar really starts to take a hit. Let's quickly give the dollar index a quick look this morning, or this afternoon rather. Dollar index got smashed to the downside. Now, again, we still have the New York Stock Exchange ahead of us, right? That is the best part. New York Stock Exchange is about to come up, right? Markets are going to have a continuation of this move. So if you can get in on a move, any move, get in on a move and hold that move, because New York Stock Exchange, when they open up, and that's opening up in less than an hour from now, the New York Stock Exchange could react massively to this data, right? The New York Stock Exchange could rally and continue in the direction we've already just seen. So that's going to be super important. We lock in those profits, manage that risk accordingly. That's what it's all going to be about. Just quickly giving a quick view back on US30. I'm going to just give this trailing stop a little bit more room to breathe here. Got a 3,000. I'm going to make it a 5,000 point trailing. And we are currently sitting, even if we caught it super late, it spiked up over 1,300 pips towards that top side, right? For the morning and for the day, in terms of that biggest spike, over 3,000 pips right there. Now, most people spend a whole month trying to bank 3,000 pips, and you guys are doing it right here live with us. As I said, best case scenario happened. We got a lower than expected number. And again, we dominated CPI last week. We're dominating PPI again this week. So no matter which way you go, you should be dancing like Trump right there. Go ahead and take those screenshots and send it in to me, and share the love as always. Go ahead and smash that like button. And as always, let us know how you're finding the shows. Okay, never mind. The buy's already started. But for me, it proves one thing, right? Stocks are going to perform well. It's going to give Powell a good ammunition to justify slowing down that Federal Interest Reserve rate. For me, it's clear cut. It's whether the markets will translate that data. So we are getting that bull move there. Nice big bull move there. I'm going to try maybe a 3,000 point trailing. So let's add those buys there. Beautiful. Starting to push nicely. Or maybe just make this 5,000 straight, so I don't have to play. So I'm pretty much now just moving to entry, and I've just got a 5,000 trailing points. So if it pulls back, no issues, continues up, I got no issues, but it definitely seems we're continuing up. So yeah, it's another profitable session. Let's get it, baby. Let's go. Let's see those things push right there. Again, that's where just time in the markets will help you out big time. There we go. Let's see those dollars pour in. I think we might as well bring Trump out yet again. It's another monster. I'm going to increase that trailing stop again. When you guys enjoy the shows, right? When you guys share the love, when you smash the like button, when you share your testimonies, and especially when you're making money, if you share those things with me, that means that, you know, you're finding value. And that's why we built this program, is so that you guys can have value. And I don't think we'll ever be in a position, I don't think I'll ever allow these shows to be charged for. It'll be a value proposition for Globex 360 clients. It's always been my dream. For those of you who've been following me for a long time, I've always believed in this should be free, right? We're in a new age, we're in a new day. And yeah, I think that's where, I think that's where the value sits. That's always been my dream. That's always been my vision. Yeah. So we continue to let that money rain, continue to let that money fall. Beautiful stuff, guys. So we've had a really amazing week, and that is this week, and it has been slightly slower than normal, but yet we have still absolutely dominated the markets this week once again. Look, we're going to do it all over again next week. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. We're going to take things to a whole new level. It's about being prepared. We have some new technology that's launching. We have some new groups that are launching. We have new ways to interact with every single one of you. So again, if you've had an amazing week with us, if you've had an amazing 2-3 months with us, let us know in the comments. Smash the like button. Again, if you need any help in terms of risk management, if you need any help in terms of price action, whatever the case may be, our brand new academy is launching for every single one of you to cater at the point of your need. So even if you're brand new, you've never looked at a chart, you've never looked at markets, we take you from where money came from, to setting up an account, to figuring, to drawing your first trend line, to starting your first trade, all the way to in-depth and deep forms of analysis, looking at banks, money and flow, volume and liquidity within a market, understanding trends, developing strategy, and so much more. So again, guys, if you found value, if you enjoyed your time with us, just let me know in the comments down below. But as always, smash that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you never want to miss a brand new upload. And again, continue to just stay absolutely amazing and have yourselves a wonderful weekend. I'm going to sign out with, remember to always do things the Globex 360 way. From the Globex 360 family, every single one of you that have assisted in every single one of our clients, fast withdrawals, fast deposits, KYC, you name it, just support from the office, all the way from the executive team down. Guys, just a massive thank you from my side too for making a special program like this possible that is changing lives all over the world. As always, guys, share the love with me. My Telegram link is down below. If you want to chat with me directly, you're more than welcome. And until I see you guys on Monday, have yourselves an amazing weekend. Much love, and have yourselves a good one. Stay safe out there. Goodbye.